first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Dibbler. As always, we appreciate you joining us here and watching our show. We are live streaming from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, as we do every weekday, starting around 1 p.m. and going throughout the afternoon. Today, we are talking about Thanksgiving and the Sunshine Division. The Sunshine Division has been around for over 100 years, providing meals to those in need in Portland and the surrounding city. And this year, they're doing something for the first time, and that is Thanksgiving meal deliveries. And so we're going to be talking about that right now with Executive Director Kyle Camberg, who's joining us. Kyle, always good to have you here on the show to talk about Sunshine Division and just all the work that you do. And, I think to start off for that, for anybody who may be unfamiliar, can you give everyone just a quick rundown on Sunshine Division, just that 100+ years of history of serving people here?
Yeah, this December will mark the 102nd year of the Sunshine Division being in existence here for the Portland metro area. And what happened back in 1923 was the Portland police reserves, the local media, which at the time was radio. We're talking about so long ago, it wasn't even television back then. And the mayor of Portland got together and thought it would be the right thing to do to go out and help people at the holidays. And so on Christmas Eve of 1923, a bunch of police officers and police reserves and some folks from the city took food out in Goose Hollow in Southwest Portland. And, fast forward 10 decades later, the organization kind of sticks to those same ethos of making sure we have emergency food and holiday food available for people. A little bit has changed since then. In the 1960s, we became a charity. We're a 501c3 charity. But we still work really closely with the city of Portland and Portland Police, but we also work with approximately 200 other partners in the Portland metro area, which is, kicking off what we're doing here at Thanksgiving. Not only are we going to home deliver to 2,000 households, but we're also distributing thousands of Thanksgiving turkey meal kits around the 4-county metro area with a number of schools and churches and social service organizations and some other governmental agencies as well. So we play well with a lot of different people, and the bottom line is, just like we did in the 1920s, we're going to make sure the holidays, there's food on the table for people at the holidays.
I think one of the key things, there's a lot that I want to talk about that you just brought up, but it's that sense of community that seems to be continuing on from when it started, helping out those people in need, but now even to today, and working with partner organizations, as you just mentioned, across the board. How important is that for people in this area, just to be able to help serve those that need food right now, to have that sense of community with everybody working together?
I think it's huge. We all know the past 4 years have been extremely difficult, a lot of turmoil, whether it's pandemics or wildfires, ice storms, school closures, you name it, inflation. It's been tough, and people, not just here in Oregon, but across the country, are turning to places like the Sunshine Division, their local food pantry, now more than any time in the history of our country. I've seen stats that say the percentage of people accessing emergency food like we do at Sunshine Division is greater than it was during the Great Depression right now. So it's been extremely tough for people. And so I think people banding together is huge. We say two things at Sunshine Division. One, hunger isn't seasonal, but people certainly step it up big time this time of year around the holidays. Everyone understands that, Thanksgiving, it's a holiday all about food. And so people really turn out and show out to help us, which is amazing. Another thing we say as well is that, no one owns hunger. And so we think it's a responsibility to work with as many groups as possible. So whether that's our 102 years now this December of working with Portland Police, which is a unique partnership you won't find anywhere else in the country, a charity that works with police officers to get food to people's doorsteps at any hour of the night. That doesn't happen anywhere else. That's a unique partnership. But also, in the coming weeks here, we're working with Beaverton School District. We're working with a number of faith-based organizations. We're working with DHS. We're working with other law enforcement and a whole slew of other nonprofits, some that work in food relief, some that just work with low-income families for things like healthcare or housing. And so we're working with a wide array of groups across 4 counties to make sure we can get thousands of meals out. So sometimes that's because a volunteer home delivers for Sunshine Division, or sometimes that's because we've sent a pallet of turkeys to a local school, and then they can help the kids in their zip code. And so we're doing our best to make sure that we share this food that we're able to gather and raise through partnerships with as many organizations as possible, because, no one can solve this on their own.
Yeah, I think that's, 100% just something you said there. Yeah, no one owns hunger. And I think that's great too, providing different options for people to be able to get to that food that you're able to provide, and providing for people who are in these challenging situations is something that everybody can help out with. For you as an organization, what's one of the biggest challenges that you face right now in even just acquiring the food that you can then distribute to everybody?
I mean, you named it acquiring, and it's resources. We're a nonprofit, and every year, the first day of the fiscal year, we start at zero, and so we exist because the community supports us. People might assume or might think that because we have an affiliation with the city that we've been, government funded, but we're not. We exist because of local donors. Whether that's a person, putting a check in the mail or going online. We exist because people donate food, and grocery chains and food brokers and farmers. And we exist because we have about 4,000 people that volunteer throughout the year and give their time and effort to make sure our programs exist. And so we're a small nonprofit with a small staff of about 25 people. And we do a lot of work. We're going to feed over 100,000 households this year. And that doesn't happen by accident. It happens because people care. And they step up and they give their time, they give food, or they give financially. And really that's the limiting factor for us or any nonprofit that does this type of work is how much food and how much sort of resources do we have to be able to distribute. And so this time of year, giving is paramount, not just the Sunshine Division, but all charities, particularly ones in the food relief space. We need resources to be able to do the work we do because, we don't sell anything. Everything we do is free to the community. And it exists because of the generosity of the community. So we get to facilitate that, which is awesome, but none of it happens without donors.
I mean, the fact 100,000 homes, I think is what you just said. I mean, that's incredible to be able to get that out there to too many and all that, to so many people and all the work that goes into that. Let's talk about the Thanksgiving meal delivery. So this is the first time I believe that you're going to be doing this. Can you tell us about how this came about and what goes into setting something like this up?
Well, it's a lot of logistics. That's what goes into it. But, fortunately, we've got 101 years of doing it around Christmas time. And so we're pretty good at that. I mean, a lot of people that have come out and volunteered are pretty blown away by what we do in December every year. And this year will be the 102nd anniversary of, the founding of the organization. And we stage out at Portland International Raceway where we have our holiday light shows. We have a massive parking lot. Over 500 volunteer drivers show up. We've got about 100 people loading vehicles. We've got tents and trailers. And it's pretty impressive logistic undertaking, and we've done that for decades, and so we know how to do that well. What we've seen the past few years, though, why we're doing Thanksgiving as well is it's always our busiest week of the year, and frankly, it was unsustainable. Lines around the corner, people showing up, hours in advance. It looked like a Walmart or a department store on Black Friday. And one, that's just not a great way to help people, but really it wasn't very sustainable, and we couldn't plan for that. The last few years, the week of Thanksgiving, we've been overrun at our physical locations. And what if the weather's terrible and transportation? It's just not the right way or a dignified way to help people. And so we said, why don't we model after what we do in December every year, because we do that very well, and we've got an army of volunteers that are super excited to come out and help us. And so we've signed up about 400 people to drive. They're going to donate their time. We have PIR secured for our light show, so we've got a landing spot, and we've got a couple of great corporate partners in Safeway, Albertsons, and Zoocans that are providing a lot of the food for this. And so really it's the planning and the execution and the logistics of it, and it takes time. And we've got to build boxes, and we've got to get refrigerated trailers, and we've got, you got to move a lot of food. And if you think about 2,000 households, that's a lot of food that's going to get packaged, processed, moved, refrigerated, and ultimately delivered to doorsteps. But we're pretty good at that. So I'm excited that we're going to get out to 2,000 households, and those 2,000 households they're going to get a 10-pound turkey, and they're going to get mashed potatoes and stuffing, and fresh produce and broth and all the sides you want for a proper Thanksgiving meal. And again, none of that happens without a variety of donors and a bunch of volunteers and people supporting this. So it's a big logistical undertaking, but we're pretty good at the logistics when we have the resources.
I mean, as you mentioned, that much history in doing this, so applying that to this situation too seems like something you do all know how to do. So that's a lot of logistics, going back to what you said right there. But talking about it for this delivery, for the Thanksgiving meal deliveries that you're going to be doing, what are the biggest things that the general public can do to either help contribute or volunteer to help make sure that this happens, that this many people can get those meals?
I just found out before we got in the interview here that we actually filled our list for volunteers. So that's amazing. We didn't know what the turnout would be. We are now full for our Thanksgiving driver volunteers, which is great. Later this week, we're going to be pivoting to signing up people for the December holiday driver, and we need 500. That's no small undertaking. So if you or your family hear this and you're looking to volunteer with Sunshine Division, we absolutely will need your help on Saturday, December 21st. With regard to how you can help Sunshine Division right now for Thanksgiving and really for the holiday season in general, it's hosting a food drive. It's making that financial gift because, I sound like a broken record. We've never been busier than we are right now. And the holiday season, it is our Super Bowl, to use a sports analogy. We are as busy as we could possibly be at this time, and more resources allow us to help more people. It's really quite that simple.
What's the best place for people to go to check out more information, to volunteer, or if maybe they're in need of a meal, even to find out how to go about that?
That's a great question. So real simple, if you go to sunshinedivision.org, all the information's there. If you need help, we have one of the top tabs on the page says Get Help. We have our food pantry. You can make an appointment. You can schedule a home delivery. You can find out about all of our various programs that we have and how people can access food. If you're looking to volunteer, there's of course a volunteer tab, and if you're looking to donate, there is a giant donate button, and you can, of course, you can learn more about our history and how we got started back in the 1920s. But those are the most three common things. If you need help, go to the website. If you'd like to volunteer, go to the website. And if you'd like to give, of course, go to the website, and that's secure. And I always, encourage people, give to your, if you're hearing this at the coast, I grew up at the coast, give to your local food pantry. If you're hearing this in the metro area, I think Sunshine Division is a wonderful option. We're a charity navigator, four-star charity, which is their highest ranking for 12 years. I'm not aware of another food relief organization in the Northwest that can say that 12 years consecutively. So we're very good with the donations. We're great stewards of your gift. And like I said, we've got an army of volunteers, about 4,000 people throughout the year. So we're very efficient with donations, and we're proud of that. We want people to know if they give a gift to us, it's going to the bottom line, which is getting food out to people this holiday season.
Well, Kyle, thank you for what you do and what Sunshine Division does and has been doing for this amount of time and this many years. And as you mentioned, nobody owns hunger. It's community all working together, and people can go there to the website and find out all about that, whichever facet you want to participate in. Kyle, thanks for having some time to talk to us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
And for everybody watching, this is Fox 12 Now. We are live streaming. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back at 1:30. You can join me on whatever platform you are watching on. If you're watching live, that's a Fox 12 YouTube channel, KPTV.com, or of course on the Fox 12 Oregon apps. All great places to watch our segments afterward as well. Feel free to share this one also to get the word out, to let people know about how they can either help or if someone is in need, a place to go. So definitely you can help out with that as well. But we'll sign off right now. We're going to regroup. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.